Hi, Sealanders. Today, let's take a look into this exercise, Programming 1.1 in Prog01. And this project is called Movie Manager V05. This subject is about the primitive types and making a few variables. We imagine that we have a movie and we need some things to describe this movie. So the first step of this exercise is to think about what specific information could be relevant to store for each movie. And we can open this project. So now we'll just make a comment with some brainstorm. What does a movie exactly have? Let's say it has a title, it has a director, release date. What else could we put in? We can put time in minutes. And let's say ticket price. So these are just to name a few. You can try to see if you can find some others yourself. But yeah, let's go with these for now. And then for each specific piece of information, let's think about how we can represent this. So the nature of the information, is it text, numeric, or something else? So first of all, title. That is quite obvious. This is a form of text because it's a title. Then we have director, and this can be a bit more tricky because we could go out and say we would like some entity itself. The director might have a name, an age, and all sorts of things. But for now, let's just keep it simple and say the director is we just want their name. So we have this as a string as well. Then we have the release date. This could also be a little bit tricky because we could have a number for it, like let's say this. We could have a date in some sort or an amount of seconds and stuff like that. We could also have a string for the date. Like July 5, 2022 or something. It is a bit tricky. Usually we would like to keep this as some sort of number because then we can always later get it as a string. So when we're storing it, we would usually store it as a number because we can do calculations and stuff on numbers which we cannot do on strings. And the next up is time in minutes. That might just be an integer because we have an amount of minutes. We can also have a double if we want decimals, let's say 110.5 minutes. But yeah, let's just keep it an integer for now. Then we have ticket price. That would probably be a double since we can have decimals. So now we talked about how we could represent these information. And let's try to define a variable for each information and find a proper type and a descriptive name. So first of all, we have this title. This can store any string. This title, we can also make it even more descriptive if you want and do movie title if you want a more descriptive name. But yeah, usually we will just go with title. Then next up is director. and this will also be a string for now. And this can contain a name of the director. Let's just call him Paul. Then we have release date. Let's do that as an integer. And yeah, let's just don't declare its value for now, because we haven't really thought that much of the format of the value. It could be a date like this, but usually we will have an amount of seconds or something. So let's just leave that hanging. Then we have time in minutes. And we could call it time or duration. Let's call it duration in minutes, however, because if we just called it duration, it might be ambiguous and we wouldn't exactly know what type this is. Is this minutes? Is this seconds? Is it hours? So that's the thing about having descriptive variable names. Let's say 104 minutes, typical movie duration. And we have ticket price for the movie. Let's do that double. Ticket price. And we can also make the variable here more descriptive, like in kroner. But let's just do ticket price. We can always make another behavior later that can print it as the price with the valuta. Let's say 109.95. Typical pricing stuff. So yeah, these are our variables for the movie, and we also get some kind of warning here, because it doesn't like that we declare all of these things without using them. For now, I'm just going to ignore this warning, which we can do like this. And we need to ignore it for each data type for some reason. But yeah, for now, let's just ignore that warning, because this is just an example. That should be the general solution for this exercise. And you can also try to come up with your own solution, maybe some other things instead, or yeah, whatever you can think of. Maybe you can add some actors or something else. Try to get creative. Alright, thank you for watching.